Hello and welcome to my channel, Talisman Tarot. In this reading I want to ask the cards and spirit directly through channeling about how the person on your mind, how they saw you the first time you met them. So what was their first impression of you? This person that you're thinking of right now, what was their first impression of you? And so I have 4 groups here that you can choose from. This will be group number 1, this will be group number 2, this will be group number 3, and this will be group number 4. And so I will ask you to use your intuition and choose the group that speaks to you the most, the group that catches your eye, and that group will be your group. And if you need any more time to choose, you can always just pause the video. But if you don't need any more time, then I'll just move on to the reading. Hello, group number 1. You chose the Cosmic Tarot, and I will start with some channeling and then I will shuffle the cards for you. So group number 1, the people who will choose group number 1. Spirit, can you tell me what group number 1's person, the person on group number 1's mind, what he or she thought about group number 1 the first time they met? What was their first impression of group number 1? What was the person on group number 1's mind's first impression of group number 1? I think this person, you might, I don't know if I'm right about this, but it seems as if you met at a very quiet setting, like I'm just sensing that it was some kind of sanctuary, not necessarily a sanctuary, but like a library or a classroom where you had to be silent, or like or a church, or something like that, where I'm just sensing that it was some kind of quiet place. So I am sensing that the first impression that this person had of you was maybe a bit formed by the whole setting, like so I think he or she probably saw you as quite quiet and peaceful, and but it could have just been because of the setting, like so I don't know if this person's first impression of you is actually correct, or if it was influenced by the situation that you two were in when you first met each other. So yeah, I think, but I am sensing that that he or she felt like you were quite calm, very maybe also that you had a very quiet voice. And again, that could also have been because of the setting. Like if you met at a library, of course you would be talking a bit whispery, or like you would have a very calm and peaceful voice, because that's what you're supposed to have in a library. And so so these cards came through. So Queen of Cups and Prince of Cups. So I am sensing that this person's first impression of you was that you were quite watery, like a water sign. So you could be a water sign. You could also have a water sign in your rising sign. So you might be a Cancer rising, Scorpio rising, or a Pisces rising. And that could cause you to have certain traits, character traits, and I think this person picked up on those. And one of those traits could, for instance, be that maybe this person recognized or noticed that you might have a bit watery eyes, like very sensitive eyes, and you might have a problem with your eyes watering up, and maybe some people ask you sometimes, like, if you're crying, but you're not crying. It's just that your eyes are naturally very, very watery. And there could also have been something else about your eyes that this person noticed right away, and that could be that you might have like bedroom eyes in a way. Like you might have a bit tired looking eyes, or eyes that, like, sometimes you might not open them like up completely, like you gaze at people in a more like in a more relaxed way, or like you might have very relaxed eyes, like even to the point where it seems as if you can't even be bothered to open your eyes wide up, like and I think people, and this person, if this person is like a crush of yours, someone you have a crush on or something like that, I think this person actually found you very attractive the first time you two met, and I think it's mostly because of your eyes, because of that laziness. Not a lazy eye. I don't think you have a lazy eye, but you have some laziness to your eyelids that might make you look like you can't be bothered in some way, and people are attracted to that. And yeah, so, but I am also just sensing that that this person had the impression of you that you were maybe a bit not sensitive, even though the cups are here, I'm not getting a sensitive energy at all. I think this person saw you maybe as a bit the opposite, actually, that you're not at all sensitive, that you're very calm and collected, and you seem like a person that wouldn't that wouldn't be hurt easily if someone like you're like you have that look to you where you can't really be bothered by people, and I am sensing that this person had that impression of you when they first met you, that you're the type of person who can who doesn't let other people affect you. You don't get you don't get affected by other people's words and their actions towards you. It's like you have this resilience or something where it just, people see the strength in you when they meet you, and this person did that. They saw that strength that you have. But there is something here with the cups that maybe this person noticed that you have a spiritual side, I don't know how this person might have picked up on that the first time you met. Maybe you talked about it, or maybe something gave it away. Maybe you had like a notebook that you were writing in, and maybe at the cover of that notebook there might have been some symbols, some astrological symbols, or something that gave it away that you're a spiritual person. Or maybe you had a book that was about spirituality, and this person noticed that you had that book, or that you were reading that book or something. I'm just sensing that right away this person got the impression that you are a spiritual person. And I think that kind of gave off a bit of a mystical vibe to this person. I don't think this person that you're asking about, I don't think he or she is very spiritual themselves. I don't think they are. And so it's not like it was a plus for them that you have that side to you. Like it's not something that drew them in, like it didn't attract them, but it didn't do the opposite either. Like it didn't scare them away that you had that. But I am sensing that maybe like this person liked you the first time you two met. This person had a good first impression of you, but it was despite the fact that you have that spiritual side. Like it wasn't. I don't know. But this person wouldn't hold that against you, though. And I think you know that now, now that you know them a bit better. But what else? How was group number one's the person on group number one's minds, how was their first impression of group number one? There is something here that I think this person got the first impression of you that maybe you are a bit lecturing, like you seem to be the type of person who wants to be right. And so if you two talked about something the first time you met, I think this person got the impression that you're a bit stubborn, that you're very lecturing or sanctimonious in some way, that you believe that you are right, and you kind of might give off a bit of a vibe to especially to strangers, that you're judging them if they don't have the same opinion as you. But I don't think you do, though. I don't think you judge people unfairly that way. I think, but it is something that people pick up on, like the first time they meet you, but then after a while they realize that that's not how you are really. Like you're actually quite tolerant and open to other people's opinions, but for some reason you come off as a bit judgmental to strangers, to complete strangers the first time you meet them. And so, yeah. With the Ace of Wands, I think this person was very attracted to you if it's especially if this is someone that you had a connection with, or that you seem to have a connection with, like someone you had a crush on, or that you have a crush on now. if you're asking about someone like that, I think the crush was mutual, like this person was also crushing on you. And I think there was a spark here, like there was an instant strange unsaid sort of spark, like something that, like, I can't really describe it, but I think you both felt this spark when you met, like you clicked on some level, even though you might be very different people, you seem to have had some kind of chemistry when you met, especially when you met the first time. And maybe it was also because of the setting. Like if you were in a very quiet setting where you weren't supposed to talk to each other, like where you had to be quiet, maybe this was also a lecture. Like maybe it was at school. Maybe you had to listen to the teacher, or maybe you were at some kind of event where someone was speaking at some kind of event, and so you had to stay quiet so that you could hear the speaker speak, and so I think it was a bit like you weren't supposed to talk, and so all the communication, or this is something I'm picking up on. Maybe it doesn't resonate with all of you, but I'm just picking up on the fact that the communication was very non-verbal. It was very I think you communicated with looks, like and stuff like that. Like you looked at each other, and like you could tell what the other person was thinking. Like if the speaker was saying something, or if the lecturer was saying something, then you might have looked at them and tried to see their reaction, and so your eyes met, and you could tell that their reaction was the same one as your reaction to whatever was being said, or something. And so there was that spark. It seemed very. It seemed like you knew it. You had some kind of unspoken understanding of each other, and it seemed as if you had a connection on a soul level. Like it was very familiar to you both, actually. But I am actually sensing, I don't know why this is, and maybe it's not true for all of you, but I am just sensing that you had this moment in this strange, quiet setting, but I feel like it might have been ruined by communication. Like, I think you met again afterwards, and then you started talking, and I'm just sensing that there was a bit of disappointment from both of you. Like you two could feel that what you had was not as strong when you were communicating more freely than it was when you had to stay quiet. And I don't know. It's actually a strange thing, because usually a connection is ruined by the lack of communication, but in this case it seems as if the connection was not ruined. I don't think this connection has been ruined, but it seems as if there was a setback due to communication. I don't know. But there was this spark, and so it is, and both of you could feel it. Of course, communication can be a tricky thing. Like there is a lot of risk of misunderstandings, talking over each other's heads, not like you can understand understand someone at a soul level, but misunderstand them when you speak to them, because sometimes people also don't communicate their soul properly, and so I am sensing that your souls met, and your souls clicked, and your souls had that spark, and your soul had like this dance going on when you first met, and then kind of faded away. I don't. But yeah, maybe this person is not good at speaking their mind. Maybe there are reasons. Like there are always reasons for that, like social reasons. Like this person might have been programmed from an early age to not speak his mind, to not speak what his soul desired to say, but was maybe programmed to say what he or she was supposed to say, or what was the correct thing to say. And so maybe there is a filter there, and that filter might not have been good for you too, because I don't know. I don't know. Now I'm just rambling. I don't know. But I want to know what this person's first, a bit more information about what this person's first impression of you was. Ace of Pentacles. So with both these aces, like two aces in a reading, is something I would probably interpret that as a very strong beginning. I think this person felt like you two had a good start. Like you came off from a good start, or how you say that. But the beginning was really good and really strong, and I think this person, like when you first met, I think this person actually felt like this connection was like a strong connection that was going to last. Like maybe even a bit like a soulmate connection. But of course, I am kind of tipped off by the fact that the aces are the beginning, and so it's not. It might have never developed into more than a beginning, and that's kind of the feeling I'm getting here, that this connection never really developed from that beginning state. Like it didn't go off as planned. Like I don't know what caused this to never become what it was supposed to be. And it could have been misunderstandings, it could have been something else, like something in the environment that caused this to fade out, or fizzle out. Like it could also have been because of the pandemic. I don't know, like if this holds, if you met this person before the pandemic, and then the pandemic happened, and so you couldn't you couldn't follow through with what you started because of the pandemic or because of some kind of environmental causes that caused you to be split from each other, which caused this to fade out. I don't know, but it is a bit of a shame because there was an obvious spark here. And like maybe you started texting this person afterwards, like maybe you got this person's number, or maybe you found them on Facebook or something, and then you befriended them on Facebook, and so and then when the pandemic started, you knew you couldn't meet up with them, so you may have started communication on social media and like asking him or her how they were feeling or how it was going in their life or something, and maybe for some, I don't know, but for some reason I think the communication, especially on social media, if there was communication over social media, I'm just sensing that it wasn't really successful, that it didn't flow in the way that it was supposed to flow, like the connection was not there in the written word, or maybe it didn't translate maybe the connection, maybe the spark that you felt didn't translate to the written word, and so that happens sometimes, and I'm just sensing that that this came off to a good start, like very good start. But it's, yeah. So the first impression of you was really good. It's more like the impression that they got afterwards that might have faded out in some way. So, so this so 10 of Pentacles. Sorry, I had to count it because I don't know French, but okay, 10 of Pentacles. Yeah, I think that's like the in the Rider-Waite, 10 of Pentacles is a man, an older man looking at a young couple, and it's like a grandfather looking at his looking at his children, or his child falling in love with someone, or it's like, but in this context, in this reading, I think there might have, like, I think this person, after they met you, and after they had that spark with you, I think they started looking at you from afar, like, and probably maybe because of the pandemic, and that might have been the reason why they had to admire you from afar, because they couldn't get close to you. But I think maybe this person looked through your social media, and for some reason I think they might have come to the conclusion that you were doing well for yourself and that you had your own life, and for some reason I think this person got maybe the wrong idea, maybe the right idea, I don't know, that you were maybe in a relationship with someone else. I don't know if that's true, but maybe you posted some pictures on Facebook of you hanging out with someone, and maybe in those pictures it looked like you were very close to that person, and and for whatever reason, whatever reason, I think that this person just assumed that, okay, you've moved on from this, and so you're in a relationship with someone else, and so obviously there's not this connection is not going anywhere, and so I am sensing that that this person has gotten the impression afterwards, after the time that you met, like in the months after or something like that, they might have just assumed that you were in a relationship and that you were happy, and so I think they kind of just left this idea of this connection, and just closed it off, and maybe, I don't know, like you can see this person here, he's also like, if you're asking about a man, this person here, he's alone and single in his chamber, and talking to his bird here, and I think if you're asking about a man, I think he just chose to, like, okay, I'll just be single, it's fine. I don't know. And if you're asking about, like, if you're a man watching, then I think this person might have looked at you and thought that maybe you were, maybe if this doesn't resonate with what I just said about you being in a relationship or something like that, then maybe this person has just gotten the impression that you're fine on your own, that you're single and living your best life as a single person, and so that you're not looking for a relationship because you're doing fine on your own or something like that. And maybe you also said something like that to them, or wrote it to them in a text message, or maybe you posted something on Facebook or Instagram or something, where you might have posted some meme or something that might have had a message that you enjoy to be single and single life is fine, or whatever, I don't know. But yeah. But I'm also, because of the bird, I kind of got this Cinderella vibe earlier. And so there could also be that thing, that factor, that maybe you had a very, like, you had a spark the first time you met this person, but maybe it was a one-time thing for you. And so maybe you met them, had a nice evening together, really connected on a soul level, but then maybe it just ended, like the connection just ended, and maybe you couldn't get a hold on this person again after that. Like maybe you tried to find him or her on social media, but maybe you couldn't because maybe you didn't have their full name, or maybe this person doesn't even have social media, like maybe they don't have Facebook, so it's maybe you couldn't find this person, and or something, I don't know, but maybe you couldn't find each other, and so it was this one-time thing, one-night stand, or I don't know if it was a one-night stand, I don't think so, but like I just think you might have met that time, and then it faded out, like you couldn't get a reach on him or her, and maybe they couldn't get a reach on you either, and so it's just like a Cinderella story, like you, and maybe you will meet this person again, like in the Cinderella story, and but I don't know, maybe I don't know. But yeah, this person's first impression of you was quite positive. You had a spark, but it seems as if afterwards it faded out, and that's kind of my what I'm picking up on in this reading. And yeah, so yeah, I think I'll end the reading here. And I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you in my next reading. Bye. Hello, group number 2. You chose these Gypsy Oracle cards, and I will start with some channeling, and then I will shuffle the cards for you, group number 2. So yeah, group number 2, the people who will choose group number 2. Group number 2. What is group number 2's person? What does group number 2's person, or what? How did group number 2's person see group number 2 the first time they met? What was his or her first impression of group number 2? The person on group number 2's mind. What was their impression of group number 2? I am seeing a chessboard. I don't know if you played chess, probably not. I think it's more symbolic. So when I see a chessboard, when I see that, I think of someone who might be playing games. And so I think this person's first impression of you was that you were the type of person who liked to play games. Maybe board games, maybe something, it could be something cute like that, but I'm just sensing that it could be mind games. Like this person might have just, like, I don't think this person had a good first impression of you, but I don't know if it was a misconception. I think it was. I think this person put you in some kind of category as like one of those types of people who like to play mind games, who like to cause drama, who likes to gossip, and like a gossip girl in some way. And I don't think you're like that at all. But maybe you have some friends, or like maybe when you met this person the first time, you might have been surrounded by some of your close friends, and maybe some of your friends are gossip girls or mean girls, or like and so maybe this person just assumed that you were like the others, even though you're not. But yeah, I think this person might have actually tried to avoid you the first time you met. Like I'm seeing like this picture of a person just going like a circle around you, and it's it's a misconception, but I just think this person is very afraid of those types of people, and probably because they've been burned by people like that in the past. Like this person could have been bullied in school by some mean girls or some gossip girls who created rumors about them, and so every time they meet someone that they have like even the smallest feeling that you might be like that, then this person tries their best to avoid someone like that, and they had the impression that you might be that type of person, and so they avoided you. And sorry that maybe I am sensing that you're getting quite mad at this, and I understand that. This is not but don't shoot the messenger here. Like, but I understand why you would be frustrated by this, because I am sensing that it's a misconception, and yeah, and maybe this person has changed their mind about you afterwards. That's very likely, but their first impression of you was just that maybe you were one of those types who like to play mind games. But with these cards here that came through, enemy. So yeah, I think their first impression of you was that you were an enemy to them, and that they had to avoid you because you were someone who could hurt them. Like, they were afraid that you would hurt them, and again, it's probably because this person has been hurt in the past, and so they try so hard to shield their heart, and they try to protect themselves, and so that is why they had that first impression of you. It's because they have to I'm just getting that it's not personal. It's just that this person put you in a category that they perceived as dangerous, but it's just their first impression, and I'm very, very certain, I'm 100% certain that this perception that they had of you, this impression that they had of you first, that it has changed afterwards. So people are allowed to misjudge us. Like, people are allowed to make mistakes, and this is one of those situations where I just feel like this person made a mistake of judging you unfairly the first time, and it's like, it's human to make mistakes, and yeah, so I think they saw you as an enemy first, someone who would possibly hurt them. There's also something where I feel like for whatever reason you reminded them of their ex or something, and it might not have been because of your behavior, but because maybe it was something like, maybe you looked a bit like, or maybe you look a bit like their ex in appearance, and so they just assumed that you were similar in person, like as that you had similar personality as their ex or something, because you looked the same. There could have also have been something about your makeup, like if you wore makeup the first time you met this person, then maybe this person might have put you in some kind of category where, like, with all the other girls, if you are a girl or a woman, then maybe this person just assumed that you're just one of those Barbie dolls or something. Or something that. Yeah, I just think this person put you in a category, and it was unfair, but it was a mistake. And this card here, despair. Of course, again, quite negative, but I think that's kind of fitting. I think it's more like it is very much because of themselves. Like, it's because of their own insecurities. It's because people like you make this person uncomfortable. And that could also be because you look a certain type of way. Maybe you're very beautiful. So maybe this person just saw you as very pretty and just assumed that because you're very pretty that you also have like the personality that goes with good looks. Like, and that is a misconception that many people make, and shouldn't really be too hard on this person, because it's very natural to look at a beautiful person and think that because they are beautiful then they have to have an ugly personality, because you can't have both. Like, that is what some people, how some people see it, and I'm one of them. I tend to make this mistake as well, that I believe that if someone is very, very beautiful, that they probably don't have the brains, because you can't have both. Like, that would be unfair in some way. Like, and so I also assume that sometimes, like, I've looked at a very pretty person, a very pretty girl, and thought, like, I can't possibly be friends with her because she probably has a nasty personality, because she probably has had it very, very easy her whole life because of her looks. And it's very unfair to think this way, and I realize that this is very wrong, a very wrong way to look at people. But I understand this person, because I think we all do this to some extent. And I think, yeah, this person might have looked at you, thought you were very beautiful, and because of your looks, because of your good looks, they just assumed that either you had an ugly personality or that you didn't have the brains, because you were beautiful. And so, yeah, but it's like, it's also like a part of this person's insecurities, like, and it's probably also my insecurities, that, like, I look at a beautiful person and I assume that they don't like me because I'm not that good looking, and so I just assume that that there's some kind of beauty contest going on in the world, that there's this societal, or this hierarchy that I remember from when I was in school, back when I was a child. Then there was this hierarchy that the pretty girls were the popular ones, and they never hang out with me, and because I wasn't popular, and maybe, I don't know, but I just think, like, this person has some insecurities themselves, and so when they looked at you the first time, their own insecurities got in the way of you two starting a meaningful connection at that point, because they they were intimidated by your looks, or they put you in some kind of category because of your looks, or something. But it's like this person here, he's shooting himself, and so like it's his or her. It's their it's their problem, not yours. It's like the problem lies with them, and you shouldn't take it personally, because it's just that you remind them of something that you I think you get my point. But with the conversation card here, as the third card that came through, I think at the end of this first meeting that you two had with each other, I think you had a conversation, and I think this conversation that you had changed their mind of you. Like, they realized that their first impression of you was wrong, and I think they actually realized that quite early on, and so it's also a part of their first impression. Their first impression was bad of you, but then half an hour or an hour later, their first impression changed, and so I think this conversation really put things in perspective for them. They realized that you have a lot to offer. Like, you have the brains, obviously. You are a smart person, and that you're also this person probably also realized that you're a very sympathetic person, and maybe also that you've had your own hardships in your life. Like, it's not just this person. Like, this person is very mad at the world because of things that they've had to overcome in their life. I'm really sensing a bit of an emo vibe from this person. Like, this person is a bit sorry for themselves that they had to go through all the bullying and stuff like that, and it was hard for them. But I think they realized when they spoke to you, when they had that conversation with you, that you've had a hard life too. Even though you're pretty, even though you're popular, even though you have a lot of things going for you, you still have had a lot of challenges that you've had to overcome. And I think at some point this person realized it and felt, I actually think this person felt a bit ashamed that they misjudged you, or that they judged you unfairly. So I think they felt bad that they misjudged you, and realized that you're actually a very awesome person. So all of this negativity, it was only in the beginning. So yeah, but I think this person I want to know what their impression of you is now. Like, okay, melancholy. That's so. Yeah, I think maybe I think they realize now. Like, I don't think I think this card is a bit. It's a bit of like an overstatement, or like. But like, I don't think this person looks at you now and thinks, that you're melancholic. But I think this person sees that you have a lot of grief and sorrow in your life. And it's one of the things that, even though this looks negative, it seems negative, but it's not, because I think, or it is, but I think this person feels very connected to you because of this. They feel like they have that in common with you, because they are also very emo, and not that you are, but they are. And so I think they can mirror themselves in you because of or not mirror, that was the wrong word, but like I think they see that you have the sorrow in common, that you've been through a lot, that you have that darkness in common, and I think that's actually what this person is drawn to. I think this person is very drawn to you now, and I don't know if this person is a bit of an enigma to you. It kind of seems that way, and I understand you completely if you're a bit if you're a bit confused by this person, because I'm sensing that this person has been like they started out disliking you quite a bit, and then they changed their mind about you and became very, very fond of you. But I understand if you can't really, if you feel like you can't you can't figure them out in some way. So, but I think this person is very fond of you. They are very attracted to you. Not necessarily in a for some of you, if this is a crush that you have, like someone you're crushing on, then I think this person is, or if it's someone you're attracted to, I think that this person is attracted to you too. And so there is that. I think this person sees you as someone they want to get to know more. They want to uncover all the mysteries. They want to like peel off the layers and find out who you are at a core level. And so there is like this very strong feeling of wanting to get to know you better. But if this is not a sexual or romantic sort of connection, if this is someone, if this is your like, if you're asking about your teacher or your or a friend, or like someone that you know that there's no romantic sort of thing here, or anything like that, because that would be kind of wrong or kind of weird. If that's the case, I am sensing that that's the case for some of you. That I was sensing that when I said like when I talked about sexual attraction, that some of you were like a bit weirded out, like ew, because that's not the thing. Like that's not the type of connection that you two have. And if that's the case, I don't think there is. Like if you haven't picked up on that, then I don't think it exists between you two. But I am still sensing that if this is like a friend of yours, or a teacher, or some other kind of some other kind of platonic relationship, then I think there is just a very strong attraction to you as a person, not sexual, but to get to know you as a person, get to know you more, and know more about your past, know more about your hardships. I am sensing an interest from this person in you and your life and your life story. So yeah. But yeah, if this is someone you have like if this is a crush, or someone you even have started some kind of relationship with now, like someone you're dating now, or like if that's the thing, even though I think it's not like if that's the thing, if that resonates with you, I think this person is just very attracted to your mind, to the fact that you have so much in common. They feel very familiar around you, and that there is also one thing here I'm sensing, and that is that maybe you remind them a little bit of their mother, and of course, like as I said before, that you might remind them of their ex, and that was probably the first thing they noticed about you, and that was like their first bad impression. But I think one of the things that you probably have in common with their ex is that you probably remind them of their mother, and so the ex probably also reminded them of their mother, and so there is maybe there might be this person could have mother issues. Like it seems as if this person might be searching for a partner that reminds them of their mother, maybe because they want to fix, like sometimes if we've had like neglect as a child from from one of our parents, we might look for someone who reminded us of that, who reminds us of that parent who neglected us or who abandoned us, because then we want to reconnect with that person through our partner and try to make it stick, like try to make sure that, like try to reenact that childhood trauma and try to fix it by making it long term, by making it stick, by making sure that the person doesn't abandon them, and so that they can kind of heal their abandonment issues by trying to reenact the abandonment, but with a happy ending. Not a happy ending, like it's a no. This is getting weird. I don't know. Yeah. So the widower came through, and so for some of you, this came through while I was thinking of his mother, and so there could be for some of you that this person lost their mother, and so maybe that's the abandonment, like that this person is trying to, like, so they try to find someone who reminded them of them, or who remind them of their dead mother, so that they can hold on to. And but it's probably not for all of you. It's maybe specific for a few of you. Just keep that in mind, I guess. So yeah, with the sorrow card, this person is in sorrow right now, and has been for a long time, and this person is grieving over something, and you might be too. And I think this person feels, again, as I said before, they feel very drawn to you because you have that sorrow in common. You seem to both have had grief and sorrow in your life, and and if that's not the case, it's just that maybe they if that doesn't resonate with you, if you haven't had like a sorrowful life, then maybe this person just feels attracted to the fact that maybe you have some qualities that this person sees as like they might see you as very caring and understanding, and that you like if you had this conversation with them the first time you met, you might have had a long conversation maybe about this person's childhood, or maybe about their sorrow, or maybe about some trauma that this person has had in their life, and I think this person just their impression of you was that you helped them, or that you could possibly be their savior in some way, that you could help them through this sorrow, help them heal from this sorrow, and maybe it's just because you were good at comforting them, and so they saw you as a bit of a mother figure in a way where you cared for them. You seemed to genuinely care about their well-being. I don't know. It's a strange sort of thing, but yeah, I think this person has a good impression of you now. They might have had a bit, like they might have been a bit protective of themselves the first time they met you, because they didn't really know if they could trust you. They didn't know if you were one of those mean girls who would just break their heart, or who would just use them, or who would just, I don't know, but for some reason they felt they felt like they had to protect themselves from you, or the type of, or your type, I don't know. Yeah, so they didn't really trust you in the beginning, and they were afraid that you were playing some mind games with them, that you didn't actually, that you weren't being genuine, or that you were, maybe they felt like you were trying to force something out of them. Like if you asked them some questions in the beginning, just because of, like, and it might have been very heartfelt, like you just genuinely cared about them, so you wanted to know like what their story was, or what was going on in their life, and you might have tried to like ask them some questions that might have been a bit intimate, and I think this person felt like in the beginning that maybe you were just questioning them and looking for an answer that you could then use, like that you would, I don't know, but it doesn't really make sense, because it's like, it's very paranoid, like this type of thinking is very paranoid, but I think this person was a bit paranoid when they met you first. Like they didn't know what your intentions were. They didn't know why you were asking these questions. If you were going to go around spreading this information to others, or if they could trust you enough to keep the information to yourself, or like they just didn't know what you, like they couldn't completely figure you out. They didn't know if they could trust you, really. So that's just how. So they were very protective of themselves at first, and so they might have had the first impression of you that you were maybe one of the, maybe that, I don't know, but yeah, but yeah. But I think they trust you now, but they didn't at first. But they do now. And it's probably also because you've shared your heart with them. Like you've shared intimate details about your life too. And so they know that they can trust you because you've trusted them with information, and so they can trust you with information too. And so I think that was probably I think this person's impression of you shifted a lot when you shared intimate information about yourself. That was kind of the game changer for this person. That was when they realized that you were a good person, that you weren't out to get them, or that you weren't that you were a genuine, honest, loyal person that they could trust. Yeah. So with this card here, with the prison, thief, and sweetheart, it came through now. I was actually going to end the reading now, but I think there is some more information here, and so I'm gonna keep going. So with the thief card here, I think this person might have realized that you have been that you've been burned before. Maybe you shared something with them that about how someone had been a thief in your life, that you trusted someone who abused your trust, or that you shared something with someone that you thought you trusted, and then they ended up telling it to everyone, and so or something like that. I'm just sensing that this person realized that you had been a prisoner to someone else who misused your trust, and with the sweetheart here, now they see you as a sweetheart. They see you as this person who's not like, you're not playing any mind games. You're not manipulative. You're not like those people that you might hang around with. Some people who don't have the best intentions towards you, and maybe this is also like a warning that that maybe this person knows something about one of your friends, and so they know that you have a friend that's maybe a close friend to you who is not to be trusted at all, that might have bad intentions, that might be spreading rumors about you actually, and like talking shit about you behind your back. And I think this person realized at some point, if this resonates, that when you met this person the first time, that you were hanging out with some of your close friends, if that resonates, then I think, as I said before, this person judged you unfairly because of the crowd that you were in, like because of the people you were hanging out with, because they knew that the people you were hanging out with were bad people in some way, and so they thought you were like them, because why would you hang out with these people if you weren't like them? And I think they then realized, when they had this long conversation with you, or short conversation, but a very telling conversation, like it really made them realize that you were just a sweetheart. Like that the reason why you hung out with these friends of yours was because you're a kind, sweet person, and you don't see all the drama. You don't see how these people might not have the best intentions, and so I think this person might see you as a bit naive, in a way, that you trust, that you have a tendency to trust the wrong people, that you have people close to you, close friends that you trust with your life, but this person doesn't believe that you should. Like, this person feels like you should stop trusting these friends of yours, or find new friends or something. It's so I think they realized that it's not like you're not like them, you're the opposite, and you're hanging out with them because you're the opposite, because you don't see the drama, you don't see how they are causing drama, how they are playing mind games, and so you're a bit blind to the mind games yourself. And I don't know, I'm just sensing a warning here that maybe you need to have a closer look at some of your friends that you hang out with, because maybe this person is right about, of course this person is a bit paranoid, and so this person might see ghosts that aren't there. Like, this person might see some things and misinterpret things, but maybe this person is right about the fact that maybe your friends don't have the best intentions, maybe even towards you. Like, maybe they say something to you and then they say something completely else behind your back. So but I think that was one of the things that made this person really like you a lot, is that they realized that you're a sweetheart. You're not one of the mean girls. You're just so nice that you can't even see that your friends are mean girls. That you're so pure and sweet and pure-hearted that you don't even realize the toxicity going on around you. And I don't know. So yeah, but I think that's all I have for you, group number 2. I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you in my next reading. Bye. Hello, group number 3. You chose this tarot deck, and I will start with some channeling, and then I will shuffle the cards for you. So group number 3, the people who will choose group number 3. What was group number 3's the person on group number 3's mind? What was their first impression of group number 3? Okay, so I'm getting a very something about flowers. Maybe you wear a lot of flower prints, or maybe there's just something here about flowers. Maybe you smelled like flowers. Like, I'm just getting a very flowery kind of vibe. I don't know, it's a weird like, it's so you might have worn some clothes that had flowers on them. Maybe you had some flowers in your hair, or smelled like flowers, or had a tattoo. Maybe you have a tattoo of a flower. of a rose or something like that, and I think this person, their first impression of you was like that was the first thing they noticed about you, was the flowers, like, and it has something to do with your appearance or your scent, I think. So it's very like it's the first very first impression that this person had of you was like, and that was like, I think this person, when this person saw you the first time, they saw you from afar, like they admired you from afar, I think. Like, I'm just getting this feeling that this person just saw you first. Like, they didn't have a conversation with you the first time they laid eyes on you. Like, it seemed as if they saw you. They looked at you, they admired you from afar. Maybe they saw you on social media first. Like, maybe they saw a picture of you on social media, or maybe this, like, if for some of you, if you're asking about someone you met on Tinder or something, then I think, well, obviously this person saw you first, like they saw your appearance first. That was the first thing they noticed about you, because they admired a photo of you. And but yeah, so the first impression that they had of you was very superficial, like, but it was before they got to know you, so obviously it couldn't have been anything more than superficial, because they didn't talk to you at first, and so yeah, I think they noticed something about you, something with flowers, that you had something with flowers on, or a tattoo or something. And I think this person got a bit of a feminine vibe from you, even if you're a male. Like, there could have been something about your appearance that made this person think that you were a bit feminine. And so if you're a male, you could have like long hair, or maybe a tattoo that has flowers on it, and even though it's a tattoo, and of course tattoos are, well, a bit masculine, in just because tattoos create pain, and that's something we associate with masculinity in a way that I don't know. I don't know why, but maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just an association that I have. But so for some of you, like, if you're a male, this person got the impression that were a bit feminine. If you're a female, I think it's the same thing. I think this person thought of you as very feminine, a very feminine female, a very romantic, like your style, your dressing style could have been a bit romantic, like with flowers or with embroidery, or like a bit hippie vibe from you, or and yeah, I think this person saw you as very there could have been something a bit a bit fragile about you. It's a weird thing, but I'm just sensing that this person, by looking at your photo, I think it's only by looking at your photo or looking at you from afar. Like, this only has to do with your appearance, but there might have been something about your appearance that might have given this person a bit of a fragile impression of you, that you that maybe you're very skinny, and so this person might have gotten the impression that you're fragile because you're very skinny, and like you could easily break. Like, I don't know, that you maybe you have a very thin bone structure or something. But I think this person saw it as like delicate in this. But of course, if you're a male, if you're a female, I think this is a positive thing. But if you're a male, it could be a bit to the critical side. Like, this person could have looked at you and thought you were a bit fragile because you're very skinny, or and you might not be, but it really depends on what gender you actually are, because like I am sensing that some of you watching this is actually that some of you are males. So but yeah, you could be very tall and skinny. Like slender. But again, it's very superficial, because this is just the first impression of your looks, not your personality, but your look, the way you look. So with a six of water, 6 of cups, I think this person, when this person started talking to you, after looking at you from afar or looking at a photo of you on social media or whatever, I think like when this person actually met you and actually had some kind of communication with you, I think there was something very familiar about you. Like, this person had a very nostalgic feeling when they talked to you, like you reminded them of someone else. And I think it's because of your voice. I think you have a very you have a very unique voice, but it's not that unique because it obviously reminded this person of someone else who had a similar voice, but it is fairly unique. Like, the way your voice is fairly unique, but this person, I think this person really liked the way your voice sounded, but it was uncanny for this person that you sounded very similar to someone else. So, but I'm also sensing that this person, when they started talking to you, I think this person did still have that impression of you that you're quite sensitive. But it's still in a good way. Like, you might come across as a bit sensitive to certain people. Not that you're like sensitive to criticism or sensitive like you're going to cry at every moment or something like that. It's not like that. It's more like you're hypersensitive. Like you might be very maybe this person also got the impression that you're a bit psychic in a way, like that you're very intuitive, that you're hypersensitive to energies, vibrations, things going on around you. Maybe this person also got the impression of you that you're easily distracted by things around you, things going on around you. Like maybe you had a conversation and it kept getting disrupted by something going on in the background, or something, and so I think this person got but I think this person's first impression of you is good, or it was good, but I am sensing that if you're asking about someone that you have a crush on, then this could be more. I am getting a friend zone vibe here, like that this person might have friend zoned you, especially in the beginning. I don't know if it has changed with time, but I'm just sensing that this person saw you as a bit more of a friend, or saw you as maybe a bit of a sibling, or like they didn't feel any spark between you two, and so maybe this is someone you started dating. Maybe it was a blind date, or not a blind date, but maybe someone set you up with this person, and so they had just seen a picture of you, or maybe it was a Tinder date, and so this person only connected with you through a photo on the internet, and so when you met in person, they might have felt like there wasn't a spark there, that it was more friendly, a friendly connection. And maybe also that you're that for some reason that you're a bit too, I don't know, I hate to say this, but I'm sensing that this person felt like you were a bit too fragile for them, like or a bit too sensitive, or I don't know. But I'm also sensing that I might be going off on, like, that I might be misinterpreting something here. I am getting this strong feeling that the fragile thing, the sensitive thing, that I'm not completely right about that, and I'm just getting this message that that might have been a misconception from my part. It's more that I think it's actually the opposite. I think this person. Okay, now I'm getting a strange message. Maybe the sensitive thing, sensitivity was right for some of you, but a very small group of you. But I think for many of you, I think this person had that first impression of you when they saw the photo. They imagined you as a very fragile, sensitive person because of the photo or because of the way you looked when they admired you from afar. And so they assumed that you were a very delicate, fragile, sensitive person. And I think that's what this person was looking for, in a way. Like this, but I think this person might have been a bit disappointed in some way when they met you, that you're not that delicate, fragile flower. I think this person realized that you're a lot stronger and a lot more resilient and a lot less controllable. Like maybe this person is a bit of a dominant type of person, and so they look for people that they can dominate. And I think they thought that you were the submissive type because of the way you looked. But then as they got to know you, they realized that you're actually quite dominating in certain areas of your life, at least, or that you have a strength to you that you're not controllable, that you're very much your own person, and you stand by your opinions. You don't change your opinions just because people tell you that your opinions are stupid, or like you are very you're very stubborn and you're stubborn, and you're good at standing up for yourself, standing up for what you believe in. I don't know, but I'm just sensing that was not what this person expected from you, and I think for some reason this person did not like the fact that you have a mind of your own, that you're your own person, that you're not this sensitive, delicate flower. I don't know. And so I don't think this person felt like you were too sensitive. I think they felt like it was the opposite. So like you were too strong in a way. Too strong-willed. Like, I don't know. This is why I don't like to do so few piles. Like I usually have like 6 or 7 groups that you can choose from, and so having just 4, it's there's always a risk that like the readings can get like they're like can get a bit mixed up, because there are so many energies here, and I'm trying to find the common denominator here, but I am sensing that that there are many different energies, and but I am sensing that the common denominator here is that there is this person expected you to be different than you actually were. So their first impression of you when they saw the photo of you, or when they admired you from afar, it didn't add up with the impression that they got from you when they actually interacted with you and talked to you. It's like, yeah, so there is some kind of with the 5 of cups, this is disappointment. It's a card that it's about seeing the glass half empty instead of half full, and I think this person just yeah, I think their first impression of you was that you were not how they expected you to be. Like and there's some kind of disappointment here that that they had like a fantasy of how you would be as a person, and the fantasy did not add up with reality. And that's also one thing that can go very wrong, especially with online dating. If I'm right about the fact that some of you met this person on the internet, met them on Tinder or on some dating app or some forum on the internet or something, and I think this person had I'm just sensing that this person had some time to imagine you as a person. Like they had this fantasy in their mind of you, and so of course it's very difficult to compete with a person's mental image of you, because people tend to create a mental image that's near perfect, and it's so and of course all of us, we are all flawed, and so we can't live up to some perfect mental image. And so I'm just sensing that you didn't meet at the right circumstances. If you had met at different circumstances, I think you would actually have hit it off a lot better. And that's a bit unfair, of course. But like I'm sensing that if you had just met this person at a bar and you didn't know each other beforehand, you hadn't seen a picture of each other beforehand, you just met at the bar, started talking, then I think their first impression had been very good of you. Like they would have liked you a lot more, but because they had this imagination that went wild, they had this fantasy of how of you that was near perfect, and so it was hard for you to compete with that mental image. It's just I don't know. It's just that the fantasy exceeded the reality in some way, and it's yeah. So, but that is kind of the flaw with online dating, and so it's not personal to you. And as I really want to emphasize this, because I don't want you to take this personally, because it's not because of you not being good enough or anything, because I really want to emphasize that this person's first impression of you would have been so much better if you had just met randomly without and I don't know. So yeah. And so with the strength card, this makes sense. I think, yeah, this person might be a bit intimidated by people who are by strong people. This person might have gotten the idea of you, or the impression of you, that you could tame them, and I think that kind of intimidated this person, that they felt like you that you took charge in some way, or like you dominated the conversation. You were the one asking all the questions. You were the one taking charge. You were the one. You were the one. You were like the steer. What's it called? Like the person who steers the ship. Like you were the one. Like you were the one navigating the conversation and taking charge of it, and for some reason this was something this person hadn't thought would happen, and maybe it's because like maybe you already knew some things about each other. Maybe you had written back and forth a bit before you met, and so you had gotten to know each other a bit on text, and so maybe you had asked a lot of questions on text, and like you might have gotten a lot of information from them about them, and so when you met in person, you might have acted a bit like you already knew them, because you knew all these informations, or all this information, and so I think this person felt like you were a bit too right on the money. Like it's a weird thing, but like even though this person knows that they've shared all this information with you, like this person is not a dum-dum. Like they know that they have shared it with you, but for some reason it's like this person felt like you should have ignored the conversation that you had over text and just meet them as if you were complete strangers, as if you knew nothing about each other. It's and I think this person felt uncomfortable that you were bringing up all this information that they had shared with you, and there's also one thing. Maybe you stalked this person's social media before going on a date with them, and we all do that. I wouldn't consider it to be stalking. I would consider it to be like a checkup. Like we check up on the person that we are going on a date with, and it's very natural that we want to protect ourselves, and so we look through their information on the information that they have on their Facebook and stuff like that, because we're looking for red flags, like if there's something that, like and so I think you might have looked through their Facebook page just to see if there was something that if there was some kind of red flag there, or something, and maybe you mentioned something that you had seen on their Facebook page, and maybe you started talking about it, and I think this person got like stalker vibes from you or something, because they felt like you shouldn't have known that about them. Like you shouldn't have checked up on them. You shouldn't have stalked them, even though it was not stalking. It was just like I get it, but and maybe you also checked like what school they went to, and so they and that's like the first thing that comes up when you check someone up on Facebook, and so it's not like stalking. It's like right there. So why would people feel uncomfortable if you ask about that when it's right there? Like but I think you might have asked them about their school, the school that they went to, and they might have felt like, why do you know that about me? Like, you shouldn't have known that because I haven't told you, and so have you been stalking me, or like, but I'm just getting that this person might have misinterpreted some of, like, and felt like you gave off some stalker vibes, or that you were dominating the conversation. Like you maybe they felt like you knew more about them than they did about you, and so this person might have felt like the power balance was a bit off. Like you had the power over them because information is power, and so when we have information about someone and that person doesn't have the same information about us, we do tend to have the upper hand in a way. Like we can dominate the conversation. We can. It is a bit of an advantage, and I think this person might have picked up on that or might have felt like it was an advantage, that you had an advantage over them because you had very, very quickly checked their Facebook page and just seen like the basic info that they had on their Facebook page, which is not a crime to do. Like I would think it's weird to go on a date with someone if we haven't looked. Like to me that's a red flag. If someone hasn't checked me up on Facebook, because like that seems to me as if the person doesn't have interest in like knowing anything about me. Like I would assume that as a bit of a very healthy amount of curiosity, and so I think they were wrong in this. If this resonates with you, if this was what was going on, then I think like, well, yeah. So yeah, but I think this person felt like you had the upper hand in the conversation, that I don't know. And yeah, with the hermit here, I think this person felt like maybe you got a bit too close too quickly. Like maybe you started out this, like if you had a conversation, then I think this person felt like you were getting a bit too close, that you acted as if you had known each other for a longer time than you actually had, or that you were digging into some information about them that they weren't comfortable sharing. Maybe they felt like you were that you were questioning them, like in a way, like that you were digging for dirt or something, digging on dirt on them, digging for dirt on them. I mean, and I don't think that was the case at all. I think you just had like a healthy curiosity. You wanted to know certain things about them, and so you like to ask. And so like, and I think you are the type of person who would be quite fine if people would tell you that they are not comfortable sharing that with you, but you still ask the question because, well, you because you expect people to just put up boundaries themselves, and I think that's also quite fine to do it like that, because of course it's better to just ask more questions and just see, like, if like because like many people are quite comfortable sharing intimate details about themselves, and so you never know before you ask, and sometimes it's just better to just go out and ask, and like but I am sensing that this person felt like you were that you were digging for something, that you were trying to get at something, that you might have asked them some loaded questions or something, and they didn't know if you had good intentions or not, and so they felt like, what are you looking for? Like what are you looking to get out of this? Why are you asking these questions? And maybe this type of person is the type of person who wouldn't understand curiosity. Like this person is very like as I said before. Like if this person didn't stalk your social media, like if they didn't find your Facebook page before meeting you, if they didn't look you up on the internet, that is a sign that maybe this person doesn't have the curiosity for others, because that is a sign of curiosity, that we want to know a bit more about the person that we are going to meet, because we want to connect with them, we want to ask them questions, we want to know who they are, and so we feel like we can have like that we can have a more meaningful conversation with a person if we know a bit more about them before the conversation starts. And I don't know if this resonates with you at all, but like I'm just sensing this, that this person, you might not have been on the same page at all. Like this this person might have chosen you. Like I feel like this is some kind of date setting. I'm not, maybe I'm wrong about that, but I am just sensing that you two were on a date or something like that. And I'm just sensing that this person wanted to go on a date with you because they thought you were a bit on the shy side, like that you were an introvert, that you were a bit of the silent, shy, quiet type. I don't know why they would have that. I don't know why they picked up on that in the beginning. Maybe there's something about you that made this person believe that you were shy, and that is what this person likes. They like people to be shy, and because then they are the dominant one. Like then they can dominate the conversation and take charge of it and be like the hero in a way that. And I don't know. It's weird. I don't know, but I think they realized quite quickly that you're not. Maybe you are shy usually, but maybe you felt like you came to the date prepared in a way, like you knew what to ask this person about, and like you felt like you kind of knew them before. Maybe you had like some conversation on text before, and so you felt like you already had some sort of connection, and so you didn't feel as shy when you met them because I don't know, but yeah, so but this person didn't like the fact that you weren't shy towards them. I don't know. And so with the seven of coins, seven of pentacles, I think, this person. I think this person got a bit bored with the conversation. Don't take it personally. Again, I'm very sorry that this is not a very uplifting message to deliver, and but I think this person was a bit bored. Even though the conversation was about them, like I feel like you were the one asking questions. You were the one putting them in focus. Like, you focused on them, and you actually kind of like, I feel like the conversation that you had was very much about them. And I think there was a lack of ping pong. Like, you were just asking questions, and this person never asked you any questions. Like, again, with the curiosity, it didn't seem as if they were interested in getting to know you, and so they were just answering your questions, and so there was a lack of curiosity on their part, and they felt like you were too curious in a way, and you wanted to know too much about them, and they got a bit bored with it, and maybe because this person is a bit of a boring person, and maybe it is a bit boring to talk about yourself, especially if you're not very interesting. So I think this person got bored. But again, it's a bit strange that this person felt that way, because this person didn't do anything to make it less boring. Like, they didn't make an effort into making it more fun at all. So it's very much their own fault. They were to blame for the boring conversation. But I don't think this person sees it that way. Like, this person might be the type of person who just blames everything on everyone else, and so they I don't know. This person doesn't have the insight. Like, they don't see themselves properly. Like, they aren't good at they don't have like self-awareness. Like, they lack self-awareness, and with the wheel of fortune, I think this is the wheel of fortune. Yeah, I think this there is a clock here, and that was also what I was getting at with the seven of Pentacles, is that I think this person got bored, but they also felt like they had to rush things, like that it was like, I feel like their first impression of you was that, or the first impression of this meeting between you two was that it was too long. You were talking too long, and it was boring to them in a way, and they were just looking at the clock and wanting it to be over. And maybe they had to do something afterwards, and so they rushed the conversation because they had somewhere else to be that they felt was more important for some reason. Yeah, I'm not getting the best vibe from this person. I don't think. I think it's a good thing that this didn't work out, because I don't think it would have been a good, like, I don't think you two would have been compatible. So with this card here, there is a crab here, and it is reversed, and so I am sensing that, like, if you're a Cancer, or a Cancer rising, or a Cancer in Sun or Moon, I think this person might have, like you could be a Cancer rising, or like you could have a rising sign that's a bit sensitive, so you come across to people as more sensitive than you actually are. And so you could also have a sun sign that's a bit sensitive, like a water sign, but then you have a very cutthroat moon sign that could be an air sign or a fire sign. And so so you come across as very sensitive, but deep down you're not. Like, and I think this person might have been a bit tipped off by the fact that you might not have been as they expected you to be, or as they had foreseen you to be. And so but I think that's all I have for you, group number 3. I hope this reading was in any way helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you in my next reading. Bye. Hello, group number 4. You chose this Salvador Dalí tarot deck, and I will start with some channeling, and then I will shuffle the cards for you. So group number 4, the people who will choose group number 4. What was group number 4's person's first impression of group number 4? What was the person on group number 4's mind? What was that person's first impression of group number 4? I think there is something here where I'm sensing that you, when the first time you met, this person got a vibe from you that I don't know if you have some kind of disability, or like some kind of handicap, or a mental a mental disorder, or some like maybe social anxiety that might be very crippling for you, or that something. I'm just sensing that this person's first impression of you was that you were crippled by something, and maybe an illness, or a mental illness, or a physical one, or something. But I'm just sensing that that this person felt like this person, I hate to say it like that, but I think this person's first impression of you was that he or she felt a bit bad for you, that you had to deal with that illness, or that I'm just sensing that this person had sympathy for you, like they thought it was like very difficult for you, and that they were sorry for you, that you had that you were sick. Maybe you could have been sick the first time you met, or like maybe you just had the flu or something. I don't know, but like maybe you had like some like like bronchitis or something that was, so maybe it could have been something like that, like you had an infection or a virus, or the first time you met, so that you were affected by an infection. But I am sensing that it could, for most of you, I think this might be something that you deal with on a daily basis, like something that not temporary, but something that you've had to deal with for a long time. I don't know. It's but maybe the first time you met, you might have had to put up some boundaries for yourself. I don't know, but I think it was something this person picked up on very early on, that like maybe if you met this person at some kind of social gathering or something, then and then maybe there was some kind of game going on, like some people were playing some kind of game, or maybe there was some kind of team building exercise or something, and everyone had to be involved in the team building exercises, like everybody had to participate, and so maybe you said to people that you couldn't participate, that you had to stay out of it, and maybe you said that it's because you have social anxiety, or maybe you said it was because you had like a bad knee, or because you have some kind of like a discus prolapse in your neck, or something that prevents you from doing some physical activity. So I think that's something this person picked up on, that you said something that indicated that you have some things, that there's something that's crippling you from doing normal stuff with people, or and so I think this person felt bad for you, even though I don't think this person had to feel. I don't think they should have felt bad for you, because for some of you, I think you might have used it as an excuse. Like you might have just said that you have a bad back or a bad knee, and maybe it was partially true, but maybe you could have done that team building exercise anyways, but maybe you just didn't want to, because team building exercises are horrible, and so I would understand why you would want to have an excuse. And so, but I think this person might be the type of person who likes to do those kind of things, like team building exercises, and so this person felt like you were missing out on all the fun, even though it wasn't fun for you. But so yeah, there could have been something where you used something as an excuse, and this person felt bad for you because you had something to deal with, and I don't know. There could have, like, this could also have been a party. Like you could have been at a party, and maybe you said that you didn't want to drink, or that you couldn't drink. Maybe you told people, or maybe you told this person that you couldn't drink because of some illness, or like because you have diabetes or something. I don't know, but you might have said that as an excuse more, like even though it might be true that you have some kind of illness that makes it maybe a bit more difficult to go out and get hammered. But I think you might have maybe made it out to be a bigger deal than it actually was, because you actually just didn't want to drink, and I don't know, but with a Queen of Swords, I think this person saw you as their first impression of you was that you're very smart, a very smart person who's maybe a bit, I think this person felt like you were maybe too much in your head, and maybe also a bit aloof, like you might have seemed a bit distant, or like your mind was elsewhere, and so I think this person had a hard time connecting with you the first time you met, and they felt like they couldn't get through to you because there was something getting in the way of you two connecting, and that could have been you, like maybe you were a bit, maybe you were the reason why the communication didn't go smoothly. Maybe you were elsewhere in your head, maybe you were a bit distant, maybe you were thinking about something completely different, and so maybe you were distracted by something else, or maybe you had a hard time focusing on the conversation, maybe because you were tired, or maybe you just hadn't slept a lot that night, and so you were very tired, and maybe you also used that as an excuse, like maybe people wanted you to do something, like be a part of something, be a part of the group, be a part of the conversation, be a part of the game that some of the people around you were playing or something, but you might have said that you can't because you're too tired, and you can't focus right now because you didn't sleep at all last night, and so you weren't up for it or something. And I think this person felt like you were getting in your own way, that you were a bit withdrawn, and maybe this person also felt like you were a bit afraid of letting loose and having fun, like you were. This person might have gotten the first impression of you that you were a bit serious and a bit serious. And maybe a bit cold and serious and distant, and that you weren't taking part in all the fun and all the social jibber jabber going on, and I think this person just wanted you to let loose, go out dancing, having fun, smiling, laughing, getting out of your comfort zone, not being so held back, not being so stiff, but loosening up and being more daring to go out and just put yourself out there. And I felt like this person might have seen you as like you were getting in your own way, that maybe there was something that was getting in your way, like maybe there was something actually crippling you from going out and dancing and having fun. Like maybe there was a real excuse that you had and that you told this person about, but I still think this person felt like you should have just gone out and had fun anyways, and maybe this person actually felt like you were using it as an excuse, and maybe you weren't actually using your your disease or illness or some disorder that you have or whatever. I don't know what it is, but like maybe you actually didn't use it as an excuse. Like maybe it was like real and you just and so. But I think I am sensing that this person might have felt like you were using it as an excuse, and that you were just maybe not that you were a prisoner to this idea that you couldn't do the things that you said that you couldn't do, or that you were holding yourself back. That's just my point. I think you get my point. But there's also something here where I feel like this person like this person wanted you to just blossom. Like they wanted to see you go out and just going crazy. Like they felt like you had that side to you. They sensed that there was a side to you that was more crazy and wild, but that you were kind of putting a lid on it on purpose, that you weren't allowing it to fully blossom and just show the world who you actually are as like at a core level, or that you were filtering yourself, that everything you said, like I think you had a conversation with this person. Maybe it wasn't a one-on-one, maybe you just talked in a group, but I think this person paid close attention to everything you said, even if you said it to someone else. This person paid attention to it, and they noticed what you said, and they listened to it. And I think this person had the impression that everything you said was very smart and perfect in a way. Like everything was calculated, and it was even as if it was a bit rehearsed. I think this person got the impression that you had thought everything through before you said it, like that every time you said something, it was obvious that you had already said it in your mind a few times before you actually said it out loud. And I think that's one of the things that made this person feel like you were a bit restricted, a bit calculated, that you were too focused on how other people perceived you, that you were a bit of a prisoner inside your own body, that you weren't allowing yourself to just be be who you are, like be the authentic, genuine version of yourself. So there is something where this person felt like you put up a mask, that you weren't completely showing the real you. And that everything you said was just a bit too perfect. I think this person wanted you to say something dumb, like make a mistake, because like everything was just so perfect, and I think it made this person a bit uncomfortable as well. I think it made this person feel like they were afraid of making mistakes around you, because they felt like you would probably judge them because you're so perfect yourself, and so you would never say something stupid. And so if he or she said something stupid to you, he or she would feel like you would think less of them for saying something stupid. So yeah, I think this person was kind of intimidated by you. They felt like you were a bit too perfect, too restricted, too serious in a way. With a Wheel of Fortune, I think this person felt like this person wanted to make a move on you. I feel like if you're asking about a crush or someone like, then I think the attraction was there from both sides, but I feel like this person they didn't quite dare to make a move on you, because this person is a bit of a hit and miss type of person, and that's why this person is uncomfortable around perfect people who don't make any mistakes, because this person is the opposite. This person makes a lot of mistakes. They say a lot of stuff that they regret later on. This person is very hit and miss, and this person is very aware that sometimes they say the right thing, and sometimes they hit it right on the money, but other times they completely miss the mark and end up screwing things up, and this person is very aware of that. They know that they have to be careful, because that's a problem, that they aren't careful enough. They go out, say something stupid to people, and they don't realize that it's stupid when they say it, and that makes them very uncomfortable in social settings. And this might come as a surprise to you, because I am sensing that this person that you're asking about, they come across as very social, like a social butterfly in a way. This person is very likely quite popular. This person is not necessarily popular, but this person is like, this person is a people person. Like they go out and they know a lot of people. They talk to a lot of different people all the time, and they enjoy being social and going out and meeting new people. And so it might come as a surprise to you that this person is actually quite insecure in social settings, because they know that what makes them good, this person knows that they are aware of the fact that they are a social butterfly, and so it's not something that, this person is aware that they have the skills to just go out and be social and talk to people, and that's something they are aware of. But they also know that what makes them so good in a social setting is also what makes them bad in a social setting. Is their impulsivity and spontaneousness is what draws people into them. That is what makes them the center of attention. This person could be a Leo, or a Sagittarius, or an Aquarius, or a Taurus. It could also be Taurus. I don't know, but I'm just sensing that this person is good at being the center of attention. They are good at drawing attention to themselves, but it's because they are so spontaneous and impulsive. It's because they just go out and just talk to people. Like this is the type of person. If I understand this person correctly, I can imagine this person to be the type of person who would sit next to someone in an airplane, like a complete stranger, and then like if he or she knows that like the flight is going to be long, they start talking to that stranger next to them, and this is that type of person. While shy idiots like me, I just completely ignore the person next to me and try very hard to just look at the screen in front of me or do something else, like so that and I'm always afraid that the person next to me is going to start talking to me, and I'm an antisocial idiot, and I don't know, but this person is that type of person who just starts a conversation with a complete stranger, and it's because they are impulsive. They don't really think before they speak, and that is what saves them a lot. But it's also what gives them the most regrets, because this person is a talker. They talk a lot, and they regret it afterwards, and they always think afterwards that maybe they were too much, or maybe they shouldn't have talked so much, and they probably shouldn't have said this, and they probably shouldn't have said that, and so they are very self-conscious, self-aware of their own mistakes that they make, and this is the type of person who doesn't think before they speak, but they overthink afterwards what they said, and so this person is the type of person who would sacrifice their youngest or child or their firstborn or whatever to be able to be like you and shut the fuck up if you like, and only say things when, like, this person admires the fact that you only talk when you're completely certain that you know the answer, and that everything that you say just comes out perfect, and like everything is so calculated and thought through when you say them, and this person would really want to be like that, but this person just can't. Like they can't think before they speak. That's just not how they are wired, and so they get uncomfortable around people like you because they admire you, but they also know that they can't be like you. They are afraid that you judge them for saying stupid things, and I'm already sensing that this person might have said something stupid to you already, and like, and I think you know what because like there might have been something that was downright offensive, like they said something maybe offensive to you, and they didn't realize at the time that it was offensive, but they could just see it on your face, and they just knew that they had fucked up. I don't think you said anything, actually. I don't think you, and that's also the problem that this person had with you. Not that they have had a problem with you, but this person is more comfortable around people who just get mad at them if they say something stupid. Like they want people to react. They want people to hit them in the face if they say something stupid, because that's something they can work with that. But if they say something offensive to someone like you, and you shut up about it, and they can see it on your face that you're displeased with what they said, but you don't react to it, and so they feel uncomfortable. Like they don't know if they fucked up big time, if they don't know if it can actually be repaired, like if it can be fixed. Like that makes them very uncomfortable when people don't react to their bullshit, like, because sometimes they don't know that they fucked up, but they could see it in your face. They could sense it also afterwards. They could sense that the connection between you two had shifted. Like they could sense that you acted differently towards them afterwards, and so they just assumed that it's just because they fucked up again, and they keep doing it, and they should just not be allowed to exist because they just keep doing it. And it's a very, like, this person is very sad about it. Like they would want, like, if they could go back, they would change it. Like they wouldn't have. So they feel very regretful, and they probably think it was a much bigger deal than it actually was. Like they, maybe you didn't actually get that mad about it. Like maybe you just thought like, okay, that's offensive, but maybe you moved on from it afterwards and like didn't think that much about it. But this person keeps thinking about it. So I think there is maybe something that like this person has misinterpreted. Like they has misinterpreted you as being mad at them. Like they think you're mad at them probably right now, and maybe you're not. But maybe. Yeah, so, but this, yeah, I am sensing that this person is quite regretful. Also with this card here, eight of swords, reversed. I think, I think this person, like, it's getting the best. It's getting the best of them, or what? I don't know how you say that, but like I think this person is getting in their own way about this as well. Like this person's first impression of you was that you were holding yourself back and that you were getting in your own way. But I think afterwards, I think it shifted and it became them who actually got in their own way because they kept, because I think they have been trapped in this cycle or this circle where they, in this overthinking circle where they think that that you don't like them and that they fucked it up, that they did something stupid, that they said something stupid and that they shouldn't have said that. Maybe this person tried to get you to come out of your shell. Like maybe this person tried to try to shake you, as this person does. Like this person is a bit too much, and this person does come across as a bit too much to many people. But I think this person tried to shake you and like get you to go out and dance, and like they tried to get you to go out of your comfort zone, or this is what I'm sensing for at least some of you. I think this person might have tried to get you to do something, and you might have reacted with like you might have been it might have triggered you that they were trying to overstep your boundaries and make you go out of your comfort zone, and like it might have triggered you and made you think of them as a bit of as a bit too much, and so you might have reacted by getting more withdrawn. Like you might have had like a counter reaction where, because they pushed you, they got pushed you further away from actually loosening up and actually getting out of your shell. So you just got more and more into your shell, or that's at least what I'm picking up on for some of you. But I think this person is thinking about that now. They feel bad that they tried to force you or push you into doing something that you didn't want to do, and they realize now that they were in the wrong for doing that. But at the moment, they were just being spontaneous and thought they were being delightful. And like many people also think that it's a delightful trait, but yeah, this person doesn't really know their crowd. Like they don't know, they don't really have a feeling of who they are interacting with. So they tend to misinterpret some signals, and they try to push the wrong people, and then like and it's likely that some other people reacted really nicely to this. Like this is the type of person, like you can imagine that like this person like they do something to one person. Like maybe they start dancing with one person, and like they ask one person to dance, and then they go out, or they might even push them to dance with them, or like this is that type of person who drags people on the dance floor and like yay, and then like the first person that they drag to the dance floor gets really excited because of this and gets really happy, and so this person assumes that that's delightful behavior because this one person was very happy about it and reacted in a very positive way. And so when they are done dancing with that person, they try to do the same trick, or they try to do the same thing to another person, and they expect the same kind of reaction. And so maybe you were the next person, and they didn't realize that people are different. Like that you reacted, of course, differently than the first one. The first one was delighted, but you were not. You didn't care for that kind of behavior, and you thought it was too much and a bit pushy and a bit I don't know. But yeah, I think it's kind of like you can't really blame this person for it, because this person is just like they actually thought you would react as positively as the person before, and so they didn't really understand that they were dealing with a different crowd. And I don't know, but they do know that they made a mistake. So you shouldn't be you shouldn't be uncertain of that. Like this person is very, they know it was their mistake. They know they shouldn't have done that, and they regret it, and they wish they were different. But there's also this. I am getting this energy from this person, and I think that's something they do in order to cope with the fact that they have this very spontaneous, impulsive, a bit idiotic, like kind of personality. So this, in order to cope with that, because this person is kind of aware of it, in order to cope with it, they kind of have to just accept who they are. And so I am sensing that even though this person regrets how they acted towards you because you didn't like it, you didn't find it as delightful as they had expected you to in their narrow view of the world. But at the end of the day, I am sensing that they just tell themselves that like that's who they are, and they can't really change themselves, and it is what it is. And so I think they are regretful, but they also feel like, well, if you didn't like the way they were, then maybe it just won't work out between you two, because you are the type of person that you are, and they are the type of person that they are, and maybe you're just not that compatible. Or but I am still sensing that like this person thinks about you a lot. They think of like how things would have turned out to be, things would have turned out differently if they hadn't done that stupid thing that they did. And I think they think about that a lot. So you are on their mind, and they wish that things had turned out differently. But I also sense this side to them where I don't know if this is something they say to themselves just because they are trying to kid themselves or cope with what happened, but I am sensing that at the end of the day they just think like that. But what's done is done, and that maybe it was like they can't change the past, and they can't change themselves, and so you just have to either deal with it like I know, but like or like this person just feels like either you like them or you don't, and they can't change that because they can't change themselves. And so I don't know, but they do still like you, even though they feel like you don't like them. But they like you. There's nothing about you that they don't like. And even though you're very different from each other, they still really like you. Like if they had the chance to be with you, they wouldn't say no at all. I don't know if it would work out between you two, but because I am sensing that this person will keep fucking up, and I think I don't know if you're really prepared for that, and maybe you need a partner that's more sensitive. Like even though this person is sensitive to your feelings, but it's always in retrospect. Like they are sensitive to your feelings after they hurt your feelings, and so I am sensing a bit of a red flag there. But I am seeing like I am sensing that this could work out between you two if you're interested. I think you could have Like, I think you have a strong connection. But of course, it's like, I don't know. I don't know. But that is all I have for you. Group number 4. I hope this reading was helpful. And if it was, please subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you in my next reading. Bye!